Um, we've got about 40 emails to go through today. So you would have got my market report, which sort of gave the breakdown for all the pairs. But so we'll just go through the emails and call it end of the week. Be happy with that. 40, yeah. Fun and games. Okay, so I've still got some of them from Wednesday, which we failed to get through on Wednesday because of the webinar software. It wasn't me, it wasn't the internet, it was webinar software which was driving me crazy. So I'll go through starting on the Wednesday's emails. This is the dollar yen that someone sent. And we have a ring low here along a trend line. You've got two touches trading on the third. That's fabulous. Above the 15 to 200, no. EMA support, correct, no. Horizontal support, yes. We've got this one here, this purple one. That's good. RSI convergence. Yeah, look, I wouldn't have this trend line here. I think that might confuse the situation in a downtrend. You're looking at the lows. Sorry, in an uptrend. At this point in time, you're looking at the lows, yeah? So we have that there, and I think this might confuse you if you've got that, but there is convergence there. Bullish price action, yes. Trendline support, yes. No resistance. The big one is up here, 105.50, but that's miles away, so that's good. And oh, good. So, what have you got into this? No, not in it yet. But we still see, whilst this is inside bar, this is a lower low, lower high, there's still a lot of buying sentiment. As you can see here, they're closing in towards the high. And now today we have this higher high, so in effect you could be looking at this for Monday trading, going in above the high of today's bar, wherever that may be, and you probably put your stop underneath this low here. So maybe about 150 pip stop, but still you've got almost 2,000 pips to up to the resistance area. So that's all good. Kiwi short. This will be, I remember saying this is going to be interesting to see argument for this one. You've got a horizontal at 83.93. Okay. There's no real divergence here. What you're wanting to see is this buying sentiment, seeing divergence there. You've got hidden divergence. Well, again, I'd argue the fact that you don't. You've got this high here, and the RSI is actually lower. So, looking at it, you've got this high here. Yep, and RSI is down here, 79. For the hidden divergence, this must be a higher. The RSI must be higher than it was here. But be that as it may, what we're looking for in reality is this momentum buying power coming up here. We're wanting to see literally across the top here, the last 4 or 5 bars, seeing a shift in them or divergence in the momentum there, and that's not what you're seeing. I'm not saying that. So I disagree with this analysis. Most likely in the trade now though. And yeah, it probably is heading back to 81, more than likely, but it's slightly outside the rules because I don't see the analysis there. Fib extension, you're saying you don't have it. Well, you draw this previous downtrend to get your extension. Okay, so that's your downtrend there, and we can see that it's just got into the sell zone, which is above 1.272. And there's your extension. So yeah, but there was just no divergence, so that would have been a little difficult to argue for me. As much as I want to sell the Kiwi, it doesn't quite fit the rules. Pound. Okay, pound also did reach a high. Again, though, there's no divergence on the pound. Okay, only just got into the sell zone above the 1.272, but again, there's no divergence here. Prepared to take the risk on this one. Yeah, look, this, I can see what you're saying, that there's Class C divergence there, but I don't want to see it from cycle to cycle. What I want to see it is at the end of phase one. So you will see that here across this phase one here, up here to this point, you're seeing the divergence at the end there, where it's come back, gone up a little again, and made a slightly higher high, but price didn't. Momentum didn't follow that higher high. And again over here, you got that part of phase one. You're getting that's across there, and on this long trend here, you've got it across there. You can see that. So we're getting divergence across there, and we're getting divergence across here. You're not getting divergence there. There's no divergence here, and there's no divergence here. Okay, so just be careful about that, because you're trading against the trend. This could now come back up here and make a slightly higher high like it did at this point, and then we have the divergence. If we then get divergence, then you'll have that selling pressure. You need to have that there in order to increase the possibility of the trade going in your favor. Okay, CAD yen. Wow. Okay. Has the fib been measured correctly? Has the fib been measured correctly? Yeah, you could put it there. I would go from this this move. So let's open up the CAD yen, and I would have my off this one here and say we found the 2 being the support. Yep, that's the sort of last phase one or last decent uptrend. You could look at this one here, but it's not much of an uptrend. Let me just show you that one here, and you can see that it doesn't really support the trade. So it'll be here is that you're looking for it. Okay, and there was divergence. We can see the divergence being across there at the same time as we were getting lower lows. Yeah. The rest of your analysis, I'm not sure what this is. I don't know what that blue line means either. Check this range. I think we're well behind the time for the range trade. Okay, the range trade you should have been looking at getting in there. That was your entry. Okay, and your stop would still be here at this point because it hasn't gone far enough for you to get your stop to break even. You want it to be sort of back up here before you do that. So looking to enter up here, which you're doing, is too late, and this is not showing us anything. This is just middle of the phase. Yeah. RSI's sort of in the 50s, you're just mid-phase. Yeah. So this could be a phase 2 or a range trade. You could look at it either way. But I was looking at more of it being a range. This obviously being the bottom of the range, and this being the top of it. And we're now sort of at the bottom. At the bottom of it, you might have get another opportunity to get in here if it bounces off that line again. That said, people could argue that this is starting a new phase 1 down. Well, time will tell. If you're in doubt like I am about it, then stay out. Trade critique. Euro yen. Yeah, unlike the euro yen, I haven't got into it. I'm still money in the Swiss yen at the moment. But I'm looking at the euro yen. Possibly doing it on a Monday trade or getting it on the lower time frame cyclicity. But I do like it, so let's have a look at what you've got. Wow. RSI and stochastics on the one. All right. If it breaks that high, it looks like it should go. Higher highs above the moving averages, horizontal support, RSI convergence, bullish price action, resistance, fib retracement. Where's your fib? 786, 382. Is this your fib here? That's your entry and that's your stop. Your stop could be a little lower underneath that. Entry's there. Risk reward, how's that looking? If that's how big it is. You're looking at that. You sent it to me on Wednesday after this bar, so you wouldn't have got in. Fib retracement. You got the 618. Again, we should have been looking at it here, but missed that. So after this bar, yes. And if you stop, your risk reward then is what? So let's call it 280 pips to 450. Yeah, it's reasonable. I expect it to make a higher high than that anyway. The G20, will it affect anything? No. Are we seeing a cycle above for the euro yen with potential entry Monday? This trade showing would not have filled. Correct, this trade showing would not have filled. But now you've got a little, wouldn't call this a cycle, but we're certainly still in an uptrend here. And there's buying action in these last 3 bars. And if this is a higher high, then yes, there's a trade for Monday with the potentially you stop under here and wherever your entry is up there. So this could be one for Monday. What are you doing to me? ass is having a heart attack. Freaking GoToWebinar software. 200, yeah, so you've got about 200 pip stop, and previous highs 490. Yep. Pete's sake. You guys okay? This GoToWebinar is seems to be freezing my computer again. Dollar yen, euro yen. I'm also on the Swiss yen. This one's the dollar yen. Higher high. Above the moving averages. I would say no to that. Not above the moving averages because we're under the 50. Support off the moving average. Again, I wouldn't say yes to that because we're underneath the 50. Horizontal support. Yep. We've got that yellow line there. RSI convergence, bullish price action. Yes, yes. Resistance miles away, but it's there. You've highlighted that 105.50. Fib retracement 50. Drawing a fib from there. Okay. I would have gone from here. 8 out of 9. So dollar yen not triggered in, so that's okay. But I would have had my fib from there. My fib would have started there. Right. And we've got the 618 nicely, and the 50 still offering support. That low test banged it perfectly. Yep. And the euro yen. Oh, the checklist was for Monday, was it? Again, you would have gone in. I've analysed this. The checklist was for Wednesdays, but you've got, you've got this saying yes to this when you shouldn't be. So just be careful of that. This one, yes, we are above. Are we finding support? I'd probably say no to that, but there is a horizontal there. There's certainly Fibonacci, and you've got your fib. Yep, good place. Bullish price action, and you've got trend line support. Cool. That's a better one. And you can, as mentioned, you could be looking at it for a trade on Monday. Okay, so 5 emails down, 35 to go. Jim, this might be a 2-hour seminar, this one. Not clear, this came in Wednesday morning, not clear on your statement, the dollar Swiss, when you say wait for the pullback or go down a time frame. Okay, dollar Swiss. This is what I was saying is that this is, you're in mid-phase 1, and if you're wanting to participate in this phase 1, then, or wanting to trade this, you need to, it's too late to trade it south on the daily time frame because it's already going, it's already trading, and it's a FOMO trade if you do that. So what I was suggesting is wait for the cycle back to the 50 EMA phase 2, then take another phase 1 down. Or you can go down to the time frames and use the cyclicity on that time frame, such as this, on the 4-hour, and participate in the phase 1, or the downtrend in that manner. Yeah, there was no, there's no, on the daily, there was no indication to get long on trading the phase two. So I wasn't suggesting trade the pullback. I said wait for the pullback and then go and trade the new phase one, or as I said, go down the 4 hour and use the cyclicity on the lower time frames to participate in the trend. Not pulled back enough on the 4 hour, yeah, I think it has. Hasn't come back to the 50, agreed, but it may not. Over what period would you consider a trend established, and on what particular time frame? Or what period would you consider a trend established? Well, for me, probably the easiest way to explain that is to look at the previous phase one and say, well, there's 200, or strong phase one, there's 200 pips, 280 pips. And here we are, sort of 160 into this, so we're about halfway into it. Well, that's probably the easiest way to answer that question. Otherwise, that question's a difficult one to answer. And listening to one of the webinars last week, you're referring to one person stop losses 13 pips. I don't, is this personal preference? Yes. I don't like 5. I think it's far too close. And yes, in the pound Aussie, you would have survived that if you had 13 pips instead of 5. If you'd got in here, this little move here would have got you out at 5 pips, but you would have been in saved if you had 13 pips. And you'd still be in the trade. And this little 4 hour one that we took, or some people might have taken, about a break even after this reversal bar. Some news last night sort of ruined the party, but it looks like it's might set up again. If this bar it stays a high, low, then I might have another look at this afternoon. Yeah, so 13 pips is my preference. You don't want to make it too big, but you don't want to be too close. 5 pips is far too close. Dollar Sing. This was Wednesday morning. It has gone back to the 50 EMA now. I'd say this is not trendline support because it's only the second touch, this being your first touch. Yes, you've got 2 or 3 touches there, but that's all pretty close together. You want the trend line to be cycle to cycle, and if we look at the RAND as a comparison, we look at this as a comparison. Go from this cycle to that cycle, or even move that up to that one there, and move that to there. Yep. So you got 2 touches and almost a third there. Whereas this one, your trend line sort of going across here, and it's broken that trend line. Yep. So there's that trend line, and yes, it would have been looking good there. But anyway, that's just one of the options on our checklist. It's not a must-have. Must-have is a horizontal, which you've identified this high here, these lows. Yeah, that's a fair call. so I wouldn't have that trend line there. Fib retracement. You've drawn this one here and you've got the 618, that's good. Higher highs. Where's the 200 EMA? I can't see that. Must be around here somewhere. I think it's bouncing off the 200 EMA, but you don't have it on yours. There's your 200 EMA. Oh, is that green one there? Okay, it's confusing with your fibs. Yeah, so you got one support. Finding support of the moving average, you didn't give it a point, but you could have at the being the 200. You're taken out of the pound. Yeah, so you should have been. There's your reversal bar. You should be underneath that. And that low was 54, so you should have had a 66.40 stop, and would have been taken out on this bar here. And the low on that is 36, so you should be out of that. And had you got in here, then it would have been a tidy profit. Pending order, Euro Yen. Trend line support. Must be going back a while, that trend line. 80% probability. You haven't got hidden divergence. Well, I would say from this cycle to this cycle that you do. You don't have it up here though. Yeah, and you need to be careful that you know, the momentum indicator is getting up there, starting to get pretty high already. The Fibonacci you've drawn correctly. EMA support, horizontal. This is correct. Trendline support, yes, at the start of phase 1, okay, correct. Resistance in the way, hidden divergence, well there was at the start of phase 1. Yeah, your RSI is higher here than it was here. So that's all good. Obviously you didn't trade, but there's a possibility for us to do so on Monday. Pound 4 hour, yeah, I was looking at that too. The pound 4 hour. This is a nothing bar. This is a bullish higher high, higher low. Need to wait for this bar to finish, and if it's also a higher high, higher low, then you could be looking at that as a new phase 1 on the 4 hour for sure. You need to do your analysis. Again, you need to do it on the daily time frame. Make sure you got horizontals to support your trade, such as this one here is not quite that low, 66.25. It's a support line. Yeah, there you go. It's a reasonable support line. And is it reacting to a fib? Yep, 382 fib. So I can see that support line in the 382 and the 50 EMA is all working for this. I just need to see the buying intention, obviously the most important thing. Dollar Rand. You're about to take the trade, but refrain because I said for tomorrow on this. The reason I said tomorrow, and oh, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it bigger. The reason why I said tomorrow is because this bar here, and I wanted to wait for this bar. You could have technically taken the trade off this bar here and gone, in above the high of this bar. Personally, having seen 1, 2, 3 days of strong selling, bearish closing on the lows, this one bar against all of this sentiment wasn't strong enough. I wanted to see a bit more buying intention. You could have gone off this, considering that the trend is pretty strong. If you had a good checklist to go with it. Personally, I just wanted to see one more bar. Unfortunately, obviously this bar was huge, and so I didn't take the trade after that, but a bit like the dollar CAD, that's why I was saying that. You could have, if you set it up and it's a higher high, higher low, yes it is, you could have taken the trade. And I know a lot of you guys did. And so well done to you. You should be looking at, you'd be up almost 1% by now, wouldn't you? If you've risked 1%, your entry is there, you're risking, what's that, about 113 pips. You're currently up 80 pips, but we're up 195 pips. So you were at 1% at one stage, or 1 times your risk anyway. It's a huge blowfly just flew in my face. I didn't have to wait. I was just, the reason why I said tomorrow is, as I said, just to explain, I'm a little more cautious, but sometimes that means I've missed trades, but that's okay. I prefer to be missing them than not participating than getting in too early and getting nailed. Risk reward on this is lower than the euro yen that you placed. Is 4 entries on the one currency pair, even if they all have 0.25% too many? No, as long as your overall risk, if all 4 trades, if all 4 trades went sour, you don't want to be losing more than 1%. That's a big thing. You can have 5 trades, 6 trades, but just make sure that your overall exposure on that currency pair is not more than 1% if all trades get taken out at their stop loss. Okay. Okay, this one, fib, again, your fib, I would be going from here. This trend line support, I don't know what that trend line is, and you'd be going across there, I would have thought, but you haven't given it a point, so that's okay. Fib retracement. This fib you've drawn is for your extensions to see how far you'd go. Yes. Above, correct. Otherwise, that's all good. Yeah, I just don't know what that trend line is. To me, these are not false breaks. These are just not respecting it. So I'm not sure what that trend line would be. Okay, you're just sending that to me again, are you? Ah, there it is with all the information. Right out. Yeah, we've discussed this. Would appreciate you sending it again with the proper information in there. Still Wednesday lunchtime now. This is your weekly. Yeah, it's looking good. I lost the internet again. Seriously, this GoToWebinar is just frustrating. Fuck's sake. Hello, sorry. This thing is just frustrating as hell. Alright, so dollar yen, your weekly analysis is to webinar software. This webinar software is just pissing me off. Weekly, yeah, I like it. It looks good. Your daily target areas around there. Not sure what you've got this green arrow for here. What that's showing us. I mean, but otherwise this is all looking pretty good. Pound Aussie setting up, and there's the ring low on the daily chart. If this eventuates, conditions of entry are still valid, yes. Is it okay to take a trade? Yes. On the Pound Aussie daily, the ring low here, yes, you could be taking the trade. Okay. Absolutely. Dollar Sing bounce off 200 EMA. I'm bearishing the dollar. Yep. Trade scores. Yeah, so you've got the trend line where I've got it. Yes. Correct. Correct. Yep. Yep. Yes. All good. Yeah, it's fabulous. So, and you traded the Kiwi short. Well, it's good. Back at me. We still got 20 emails to go through. Kiwi. Kiwi. To go short. If it's a phase 2, you need fib extension. These red ones are your extension. If you go back to the start of this webinar, I showed you where we put the fib. Okay. And also there's no divergence. Okay. This is convergence, it's not divergence. RSI is just following price. So just go back to the start of the webinar and I'll show you a little. In that I discussed the Kiwi. Aussie dollar. Okay, now you got the fib the wrong way again. You want the fib from here or even down here. Not. This is looking for extensions. Up here you've drawn the phase 2. For a new phase 1, which is what your checklist is for, you need to have fib support. What's that? That's Pound Aussie. So you'd be drawing your fib from there, and you've got the 50 perfectly. Yep. So be careful with your fibs. Right? You've got them the wrong way around on both of those. think we've lost you again. Okay, alright. It's just taking forever to open this email. Come on. I have to find a better online webinar program because this is just driving me insane, this one. Might be okay you're in, Nick, but it's shit house at my end, mate. Runs the internet. I'd never have a problem with the internet. I never have problems with my computer until I turn this fucking program on. Excuse my French, but it's just damn right annoying. I can't even open this email with this image on it. Now, finally decide to open. Beautiful trend line. Horizontals, Fibonacci is correct. Yeah, you've highlighted hidden divergence, good. I think so. What's number 9 on the checklist? I can't remember. You think so? Resistance, number 9's on the checklist. Any resistance? Oh, that's number 7, isn't it? She says no resistance. Put camp. Where the hell do I put those checklists? Trend line, is it? How do I put the checklist? There it is. Fib retracement. Trend line support. Okay. Yep, absolutely. You got trend line support. Yes. So that's good. To get back on to the 4-hour pound Aussie, can you please show the setup? I might not take the trade, but still don't need to know how you set it up. Pound Aussie. All right. Well, you set up the daily. You've got that there. You find that you've got horizontal support. Yep. And you're looking at the 4-hour. You then need to do your Fibonacci on the 4-hour, which we were doing that there, and we had this little ring low here. Was it there or no? It was here. But we're looking at this little ring low. Had the stop under here because that's the obvious place for it, and taking the trade. I got stopped out in there, minor loss, but now looking at it again, we could be looking at it again in that we've got 50 and the 200 EMAs, and if you draw your fib now from this one to there, you've got 786 acting as fib support, and you could be potentially taking the trade again if this bar remains as a high low. Today's conversation. Still on Wednesday. Still 20 emails to go. Euro yen. we'll discuss this one. Yes, your analysis is sound and it's all good. What do you got going on here? Hidden divergence. Yeah, there's hidden divergence from this low to this low, which you haven't highlighted. This is convergence, and purely convergence at this point in time. Not sure exactly what you're showing there. A little hidden divergence across here, maybe, but it's not really useful, I wouldn't have thought, for in the bigger scheme of things. But the rest of it is all pretty good. Yep. Good for double checking. Yeah, placed it as a Swiss yen and double checked the order and realised it was meant to be euro yen. That's good. Checking to be sure. This is the first 4-hour trade I've placed. I'll cancel the order if it isn't triggered as to close the current bar. Yes, correct. On the pound Aussie, that entry that I suggested at 11 on Wednesday morning. Cancel it if it's not filled. On the last one. To calculate the rand, I used the dollar yen. It gave me a lot size. Whoa. No. Is that because you didn't have the lot size calculator on the rand doesn't have the lot size calculator on it? Quite simply, the way to calculate if you don't have the rand on your lot size calculator, it's not that difficult to work out. If you're saying, well, my pips risk is 100, I'm wanting to risk risking $100, then my dollar per pip is 1. That makes sense, doesn't it? But that's one rand. Okay, so because it's USD ZAR, yeah. So let's change this to 1,000. Let's change that to 100. Then what have we got? It's equal to the other way around. I want that divided by that. So let's say it's 1,000. 1,000, and that's 100. So it's now 10 rand per pip. Okay. So then we need to convert that back to Aussie dollars. Right. So $1 US is equal to what's the rand trading at? 11. Let's call it 11. Make it nice and easy. It's equal to 11 rand. Yep. Therefore, if we're risking 10 rand, what's that in US dollars? Yep. So that's effectively is equal to that divided by 10 is how many US dollars, right? So that's how many US dollars we're risking, and 1.1 US dollars in Aussie dollar terms is equal to $1 US is equal to, well, the Aussie US is trading at, Aussie US is 0.899, let's call it 0.899, yeah. So 1 Aussie dollar is equal to 0.899 US. Are we all following that? So I need to multiply need to make that. So multiply by that. 1 Aussie dollars equals 98 US cents. 1.1 dollar per pip. 1.1 dollar per pip. Another way to do it. Let's scratch that. As I get your calculator with the rand on it. Let me do that for you. I thought that had the rand in it, but it obviously doesn't. I'll find the calculator with it and I'll get it to you all. Okay. Alright. First time you've done the study, but just going back to your question. Have you done it correctly? No. Question from, did I actually take the pound Aussie trade? Yes, I did. I got taken out last night. To this one, this email, I've got this is sky high resistance territory, could easily be reversal given the pair's history. Given the pair's history, mate, I think this is still going. You know, a lot of money's coming out of emerging markets. This is just a bit of a pullback of that overall trend. We've got the trend line. 150 pips, your stop should be underneath that. That's good. Your entry's there. Risk reward, it's 150 pips, being third decimal, versus a reward of 392, so you're over 2%. You guys have just gone again. Yeah. But an Axie trader do have a 30 pip spread on it. That is correct. It's up to you whether you want to take the trade or not. Okay. Go-to needs a whiskey, and go-to needs a freaking under and over double barrel shotgun. That's what it freaking needs. 4-hour setup divergence. Mate, you don't need divergence. Only time you need divergence if you're trading, trying to get the pre-swing of the daily turning into a phase 1. Because then you'll be trading the 4-hour at the end of phase 2. So at this point in time you need the divergence, which you would have had down here. Over here you don't need the divergence. Okay. But yes, everything else is there. And yeah, this is where I was looking at getting in, and this is where you would have got in, and that is valid as well. You know, I know my order was at 1%. It was up 1% at one point. My trade was up 1% when it was up here, and it came back down, and I got in over here, and it came back down and took me out at a minor loss. So yeah, and it's now looking potentially like it could go again, but you know, this needs to be a buy bar and a higher high, higher low. So it's just a matter of waiting and see. I will make sure the calculator gets the interactive calculator that you guys have got has RAND on it, and we're rebuilding it actually to have all the currency pairs that now AxiTrader have. Okay, so it'll have all of them, and even your little checks and Chinese will be on there. So Aussie Swiss, we're now to Thursday morning. Aussie Swiss, come on, open the freaking email. It's not that hard. Open as a web page, maybe. Seriously frustrating. I don't know what the hell happens with this software. Come on. Yeah, I get that same message. I can't even open freaking emails now. Pound yen, 4 hour long entry. Is that the 4 hour? Is that the daily? I think that's the daily, isn't it? Support. New order on the 4 hours there. Existing order. Yeah, look, absolutely, your trade is risk-free. you should have your stop. I presume this is where your stop's at now, or something like that. Anything I would question. Oh, you've got that for the extension. Look, where's the pound yen? What you need to do here is have horizontal support, which you got there. Yep. And then you need to be looking at the 4 hour. Great cyclicity on the 4 hours, isn't it? Oh, great. Come on. Trend along the 20 there for a bit. So we've now got this 50 here. So this swing low here, and this one here, you wouldn't have got in because it didn't make a higher high. But here you would have got in, and you'd be just slightly out of the money at this stage. But that's what you'll be looking at on the 4 hour using the cyclicity. Okay, so not sure what this, you're trying to identify the extension. That's okay, but you got hidden divergence there. Don't know about this using for that extension. You need to get a bit more data. Okay, when looking for extensions, you'd be doing something like this. There's a bit more of an extensive move than your other one, and you'd say the 1.618 was offering support. Okay. Come on, just open the fucking email. Otherwise we'll be here all day. That's the pound Aussie. I'll discuss that. I don't think it likes your email. Doesn't like this one either. Attached to pending orders, all at 0.25%. At the time of writing this, all triggered. Closed out my euro yen. Trend continuation short. 302. You're doing the Euro Swiss and the Aussie Swiss. Very similar trades. Sorry, Euro Aussie and Aussie Swiss. Very similar trades. Lower high, below resistance, horizontal, bearish price action, fibrid. Yep, that's good. Okay, yeah. All looks pretty healthy, but I would be choosing just one of them because it's effectively the same trade, or as you said, you've done 0.25% on each one. That's okay. I wouldn't be doing more than 1% on it, on both of them. Yeah, you have 0.5% on the Euro Aussie and 0.5% on the Aussie Swiss. That's okay because it's effectively the same trade. Pound yen stop. Pound yen stop should be fine. I would have thought. Just open up your dog of a thing. Thank you. Pound Aussie. Yes. Okay. 9 out of 10. Are we above the 50? Yes, we are. Well, that's your 20. Yeah. Okay. That's all good. Your question on the pound yen, stop is at 69. Yes, it should be. This low was, your stop should be underneath this now, anyway. Low is 69.21, so your stop should be about 69. Just underneath this low here. Pound Aussie, sent to me on Thursday lunchtime. Trend continuation, highs, high lows. Yeah. Take off. Sorry, I tried to stop loss. Yeah. Already risk free on your first account, so that's all good. Question is, did you manage your order properly? Hold up. Let me get that out of the way. On the pound Aussie, this was Thursday afternoon. Did I manage my coke? Oh, look, the price hadn't really gone anywhere yet, so you could have traded on Thursday. There's a little ring low here. If you're looking to get in above this buying action here, you've waited because this is a low test. You could have waited, and this is a high test. You probably cancel the order. Then you get another ring low, and you go in again on Thursday with your stop underneath this. Yep. And now you'd be sitting there patiently. Excuse me. Yeah, 50. I agree. That slippage is ridiculous. I've sent an email about that, but that's what you've done this correctly. This is good. It just got slipped, unfortunately. There's not much I can. We have lodged complaints with Axie about that. You want to trade the CAD? Would I advise against it? Not necessarily. I don't like trading personally. I don't like trading on bars like that. Huge overextended bar. This one here. You're looking at a stop of 200 pips, but with this one you could easily get potentially 400 pips out of this, if not more. There's not much until you get to this high here, which is around $1.16. So there's easily inside your 200 pip target. I don't like trading on bars like that. Prefer sort of little things like this, because then your risk reward, your points per pip is not that fabulous. Went for it and spewing. I cancelled this trade when it didn't trigger on the 17th. Spewing. Let's see what you've done. Oh, you mean this little ring low here you didn't leave your order in? Well, you might have got gapped anyway on it, or slipped on it, but yes, EMA support. Oh yeah, absolutely you did. It bounced, came down and tagged the 50. So absolutely. RSI convergence, bullish price action, yes. Fib retracement, yeah, came back to the 50. Yeah, everything's there. And you've got everything except for the EMA support. I'd say yes to that. Yeah, that's support for the EMA. Invoice. Okay, don't need to read that email right now. Could you please comment on the price action of dollar CAD? I've been watching this pair with looking to go long on phase one. Yep, so have I. And it has messed up the risk reward, so I passed on the trade. So did I. I passed on the trade. Why? The news that came out, I think it was a confluence of bad data out of the Canadian oil came off a little bit, and the Chinese data also added to it. The following day, but it was mostly a stronger greenback and a much weaker loonie that gave us that kind of bar. Aussie dollar trade for Thursday. This came in Thursday night. Aussie dollar. Phase one short. Because you got this lower low, lower high. Well, it could be the case. Could well be the case. You certainly got reversal divergence here and RSI there. Do you have? Where's your? You're looking at it the screenshot you've given me is midpoint during this bar. Yeah, so would I be trading it today if it makes a lower low? Not really. Potentially I could, but I'd most likely go down lower time frames and have a look at it. The daily doesn't look that fabulous to me. And you'd want to be having your stop up here, so it's quite a large stop, going from there to at 89.30 area to over 90, sort of around 91.00. You're talking about 120 pip stop, maybe more, 170 pip stop on the Aussie. Are you going to get 600 pips out of it? No, I think we'll probably stop at 85, which is only about 300 pips out. Below the moving averages, no. Moving average resistance, no. Horizontal resistance, yes. RSI convergence, yes. Bearish price action, right. Yeah, you've got everything there. I didn't see your Fibonacci. Your Fib, you'd probably be doing that if you're getting the 50. Yep, I can see that. But that's the last cycle, isn't it? That's the last phase one. So it's almost a double top. Quite literally though, I'm seeing left shoulder, right shoulder, head. Mate, you've made the argument. I can't fault you for the argument. Don't know why you're getting in at that price of $89.90. And 89.90 is, which is effectively where we are now. It's not much of an entry. It's sort of in the middle of nowhere. That's going to be my only comment on that. Slippage, yes, we've lodged a complaint with AXI. They're pretty much not doing anything about it. We need to change the book that you guys are on. Pound Aussie. Well, up to Friday morning, early Friday morning, so I've only got about 5 emails to go. It'll take an hour, fucking half to do it. What do we got here? Pound Aussie entry is 86.42. Bullshit and divergence. Bullshit and divergence from this low to this low. Yep, I can see that. Entry is 86.42. Highs, EMA, support. Yeah, why not? 50 support, absolutely. Horizontal support, yes. Bullish, immediate resistance, no. Fib support, 382. You've got your fib from there. Interesting. What's this? This is out in the middle of nowhere. Fib's either from there, which, going back to this Pound Aussie, everybody seems to be looking at it. There's your fib from there. Yep, got the 50. You said 382, but you've got the 618 and the 50 here because your fib's down here for some reason. Trendline support, no, okay. Your email says acknowledge entry is too tight. 86.42. 86.42. 86.42. Is that because of that high there? 86.10. I'm not sure where you got 86.42 from, mate. 86.42. 86.42. You're looking at getting in right there. I'm not sure why. This high here is, as we know, is 86.10. So you'd be looking at 86.15. And you stop at 84.18. We have mine just underneath the 84 mark. Underneath that low of that, which is, that's 84.10, so you'd be underneath, around 83.95 or 83, something like that. Don't know where you got 86.42 though. I'm a bit stumped about that. Thanks for providing market reports. It helps with my own analysis and clears a lot of confusion. Cool. Could you please advise the best way to protect profits ahead of this weekend G20 meetings? I don't think there's anything going to be coming out of the G20 meetings. The risk that was in the global economy to 2012, 2013, it's largely dissipated. The Japanese are still printing like mad, and everybody really is, but it's that cycle is coming to an end. The G20 meetings, there's not much is going to come out of that that's going to rock the boat, and if it does, then you're not going to be able to foresee it. If you are concerned, though, bring tight stops in nice and tight under previous swing lows or the previous bars, and or you could do this as a combination of moving your stops, or you just close out the trade, but you could also look to reduce your exposure by closing a part of your trade. Whether you're in profit or loss at this stage is irrelevant. It's just a matter of reducing your risk by closing your part of your trade. Would you do it on Saturday? Yeah, I'll do it Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, not Monday morning, because the market will gap, and there's no point in managing it Monday morning. You'd do it Saturday morning. Trying to avoid slippages with prices gap against my trade. Yeah. I would not be placing entry orders on a Saturday morning for the market on Monday, because you could get gapped and not necessarily want the trade at the price you get. I'd wait till Monday morning until the open and then place your order. But I'd manage my trade that's open by moving the stop tomorrow morning. You managed to survive yesterday's low test bar on the pound yen. Fabulous. Thinking of adding 0.5% to this trade on Monday on the daily. Awesome. Is it wise to be going long on the pound yen if the pound is going into phase 2 short? Yeah, look, it's a matter of how they react to each other. Which one's getting weaker, and the yen is getting decidedly weaker across fundamentals and across the board of most currency pairs, as we can see against the Swiss and the euro. So you shouldn't be too concerned about that. And the pound is just having a natural pullback because it had such a great run anyway. It had such quite a fast acceleration, as you can see by that chart there, away from the moving average. This very quick move rather than this sort of slow and steady move. So it's natural for it to have that pullback, and be looking at getting into it around here somewhere, in the mid 65s. Yeah. So I'm still very bullish the cable. I won't be buying any dips. Best time to be placing trades Monday after the meetings. Yeah, as I said, I don't think Monday meetings, the G20 is going to do much. Place the order at any time after 9 a.m. once the market's open. Okay. Analysis for the Rand. You're in the pound and the pound yen, trying to scale in on the 4-hour charts. Absolutely, go for it. Scale in on the 4-hour charts if there's an opportunity, and as long as your risk is not there. So your risk is off the table in your first trade by being a break even or better. So what do you show me here? The weekly or monthly. It's getting up there, yeah, it spikes and then has a reversal, but these spikes were massive. Look at the size of these bars, and compare that to this move. It's almost like in 3 weeks, wham, of course it's going to have a pullback. 3 weeks, bang. This is a much more sedate move. So it's looking reasonable. You've got this one massive bar here, well, compared to these ones, but I think that's still okay. So what's your other analysis showing me? Target up, bearish in divergence, yes, bullish, sorry. Higher highs, horizontal support, bullish price action, 52 Fib retracement trend line, no major resistance, cool. Not exactly everything low, but bar 3 is 1 pip below bar 2, but close enough. Okay. And had you taken that, you'd be sitting pretty, no doubt. You guys still sending me emails to look at, just because I'm still online. I'm in the pound Aussie. Since my stop is now at break even, I wanted to get into it again yesterday to scale in after the ring low. However, I missed it because it moved up too fast. Since it's now gone below my entry target, I want to try and get in today at the same price. 85.61, I think we're under that at the moment, aren't we? Really? Yeah, we're well under that. So you wanted to get in here above the high of this bar. Personally, I think that we've seen all this selling here, so I don't go for the argument of this was a good price 2 days ago. It should be a good price today, and having a similar stop. No, I think that we saw quite a bit of selling come into the market here, and you should be looking at doing a stop like that of 300 pips. That, or you stop it. That, or you're looking at the 4 hour. Okay, and looking at the 4 hours just going nowhere, isn't it? But this selling in the last couple of towards the end of this 4 hour chart is what's concerning me, and why I'd say, well, I want to see price up here to confirm that the buyers are now dominating again. Yeah, on this daily, I want to see the buyers dominating again, because they failed. And I think that just because if you get in here, you get a higher chance that this market could fail, rather than if you get in here. It's a higher chance that it's not going to turn and fail on you. Can we get back on by rejoining? Hey mate. And okay, that's it for the day, finally. It's 1.5 hours. I certainly hope that doesn't continue to happen. Alright guys, you have a lovely weekend, and I do apologise about the dropouts, and I shall see you all, I think, again on Monday. I think we're up again. Okay. Yeah, it was good to see you guys on the boat, and I'm down in Sydney again for next week, and other than that, I'll be online and enjoying the sunshine. Cheers, guys.